Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight as the BJP takes Goa and Manipur from the Congress, which is the single largest party in both states. Is this a murder of democracy through horse trading, as the Congress alleges, or a legitimate political move in a hung assembly? That's the big story today, and what a difference 24 hours can make. When the results of Goa and Manipur first came out, it was a hung assembly with the Congress emerging as the single largest party. But within hours, the BJP had already made its first moves and is now all set to form governments in both states. Parrikar will take oath as Chief Minister of Goa for the fourth time tomorrow evening. He has 15 days to prove his majority after he and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari pulled an all-nighter and secured the support of smaller parties in Goa. The Congress has called it a murder of democracy, with former Home Minister P. Chidambaram accusing the BJP of stealing the Manipur and Goa elections. Meanwhile, in Manipur, the BJP has a chief ministerial face, N. Biren Singh. Three smaller parties have given their support to the BJP, but Chief Minister Ibobi Singh has still not resigned. He says he's going to do that tomorrow. In Manipur, the Congress, which had ruled the state for 15 years, emerged as the single largest party, winning 28 of the state's 60 seats, but was stopped short of the majority mark of 31 that was required to form the government. The BJP, which got its best ever performance in the state, going from 0 to 21 seats, managed to convince the smaller parties to go along. Well, one of the big problems that the Congress has faced in Goa has been the anger now of its elected MLAs, who are deeply disappointed, they say, with the senior leadership for the way that they were not able to negotiate government formation. We spoke to Vishwajit Rane, one of the Congress MLAs in Goa, who expressed his anger at the party leadership for not being able to stitch together an alliance.
I have with me Mr. Vishwajit Rane. Sir, the Congress party had 17 seats. You had the support of one independent.
That's right.
What happened yesterday?
I think there was total mismanagement by the leadership. I have written to my leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji, regarding the same, who I have total faith and trust in. And I'm sure he's not aware what is happening in Goa, because I don't think he's being properly briefed. There was a big mess up by the leadership in announcing the CLP leader. I am very sad because the mandate given to the Congress party to form a golden opportunity to form a party government in Goa has been just given up due to foolishness of some of our leaders. I barged out of the room because I was upset. There's no secret. See, I respect all our leaders, but then when each one of us has got a responsibility to our people in our constituencies. There's a lot of pressure on me. There's a lot of pressure on me by all my MLAs who are supporting me to act. But I am only holding back because of my leader, Mrs. Gandhi, Srimati Sonia Ji Gandhi.
What are chances of you quitting the party, sir?
A lot of thoughts are coming in my mind. Sometimes I just feel that I'm in the wrong party.
Well, earlier I spoke to Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, who was the man behind this alliance in Goa, behind the BJP's coup in Goa. Let's listen in. Well, Mr. Gadkari, firstly tell us, how did you actually stitch up this alliance in Goa so quickly? We heard you actually were up all night, just hours after the results came in.
Actually, after the result, it was immediately decided by the party president Amit Shah ji, and he asked me that you immediately rush to Goa. I immediately start, and I just at night 12 o'clock I reached there. Immediately I call a meeting of all our office bearers and leaders with Parrikar ji. Same time we call the concerning leader of the different parties and independent members. We discuss with them. There was a lot of difficulties and problems for coming to the conclusion. But round of meetings have taken place up to 5 o'clock at morning. And the next day also we are also discussing. And in the interest of the Goa and particularly the development under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, the work executed by our government, there was a lot of respect and regards in the mind of the people. And for stable government and for development, their approach was they need cooperation of the central government. So after convincing all of them, we are actually extend our strength to a magical strength that is to be 21. And immediately Parrikar, who take the appointment of governor, and immediately we meet them. And at that time, the Congress party is wasting their time for discussing who will be the leader. and we have completed all the procedure. We meet the governor, and the governor has given us the chance now to prove the majority within 15 days in the assembly.
Well, as you say, Mr. Gadkari, that the Congress was wasting its time trying to elect its, legislature party leader. However, the Congress, Mr. Gadkari, says that the BJP has not acted fairly, that Mr. Chidambaram, who's the former Home Minister, he's actually accused the BJP of stealing the elections of Manipur and Goa because the Congress was the single largest party.
Now, this is not a responsible statement from the leader of the Congress party. The fact is that actually the Congress party was busy in Goa, that there was 5 to 6 candidates who are claiming for leadership. There are 4 to 5 ex-chief ministers, and it was difficult for them to take the decision. So they don't have time to discuss with the alliances, the different small regional parties. And that was the reason that there was no response from the Congress party. At the same time, we immediately start negotiation. We discuss the issue, and on the common minimum program, we have made the conclusion and unanimity on that, and we go ahead and meet the governor. It is a Congress party who not taking any interest in even the leader of the Congress party, they were not ready to discuss with the independents and other people. That was the situation, and we immediately we take the decision, and after that, if the Congress party is blaming BJP, it is not justified.
But Mr. Gadkari, the question is, should the governor have actually called the single largest party first? Because the Congress has the numbers. Yes, there is a precedent for not calling the single largest party, but the Congress is raising a question on the governor's role and of constitutional propriety here. It may not be there in the constitution, but would that have been the right thing to do?
But I am asking the question, why the Congress party, what is the reason? Why they not meet with the governor? Why they not make their claim? What is the reason? Because they don't have the majority. Because the Congress party was not in position to even elect their leader of the party in the assembly. They are busy with them. And that is the reason that if they don't have the majority, how they are expecting that governor should give them the chance. No doubt that they have got the highest number, but governor, they have to prove that the support of other party. But they are not in the position, so it is the problem with the Congress party. Why they not claim the majority, and why they not meet with the governor?
But Mr. Gadkari, the Congress is also accusing the BJP of horse trading, that saying that the BJP is so desperate to form governments in Goa and Manipur, where actually the verdict, went against you, that you're using money power to get your way.
No, actually, this is the unfortunate that in the democracy, when you don't get victory, by sportsman spirit, you have to accept the defeat. But the Congress party is not ready to accept their defeat. And that is the reason they are unnecessarily blaming Bharatiya Janata Party for that. It is the fact that in Goa, actually it is on common minimum program, the 2 regional parties, the MGP and the Goa Development Party, both are come. They are with 3 members, and we have discussed the common minimum program, the issues and everything. On the basis of all these issues, they decided to support us. But why the Congress party can't start dialogue with them? So it is with the Congress party that even they are not in position to elect their own leader, assembly leader. And now they are blaming for us. It is very unfortunate.
Well, Mr. Gadkari, how did, in the last question, how did Mr. Parrikar decide to come back as Chief Minister? How exactly did that happen? Is this something that he wanted? Because we did get a sense of that during the campaign.
No, actually the 2 regional parties they are ready to support with a condition. And their condition was that if Goa, if the Manohar Parrikar, BJP elect Manohar Parrikar as their leader, then only we will support. That was the condition from them. Then I discussed immediately with the party president and the Prime Minister. I just give them all details of the situation. After that, the President Amit Shahji assured me that I will discuss issue with the other party leaders and the parliamentary board members. He discussed with them. Then he authorized me to take the decision. And on the basis of that, then we decide that, and even Manohar Parrikar, actually as a defense minister, his importance, his performance is very good. So actually when I discuss all this thing with Manohar Parrikar, but Manohar Parrikar argue very nicely, say whatever the party has taken a decision in the interest of the party, whatever you give me the responsibility, I am ready for that. So in a situation we don't have any option without Manohar Parrikar. That's why we have taken decision to take Manohar Parrikar as a leader of the party, and the two regional party only on that condition they support us. Then the 2-3 independent support to the Manohar Parrikar, they declare their support to Manohar Parrikar, and after that we claim our majority, and after that we meet the governor.
All right, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Senior Minister there. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Gadkari there, along with Mr. Manohar Parrikar, responsible for the BJP's coup, as we were saying, in Goa, virtually snatching that government from under the nose of the Congress party. Well, joining us tonight is Pawan Khera, member of the Congress party, Senior Minister Babul Supriyo, Aarti Jairath here in the studio with us. But I'm going to go first to senior lawyer Harish Salve tonight, because Mr. Salve, the whole debate over the last 24 hours has been about whether the single largest party should have been invited by the governor first for government formation. What is your view?
It's not an inflexible rule. Generally, where the situation is diffused, obviously you would invite the single largest party. But if in a situation, and I'm only going by media reports, if in a situation before even you call the single largest party, the second largest party, and they're a hair breadth away, as it were to come and say, okay, 3 of us have already combined and this is how we are going to form a government. The rule of thumb for the governor, the constitutional principle for the governor is what would put in place a stable government which would enjoy the majority of the House. Where you have no clarity, then you obviously invite the leader of the single largest party. But sometimes alignments, post-poll alignments, if they take place with such alacrity, then you call whoever is ostensibly commanding the majority in the House, and you leave it to the House then to decide.
In other words, you're saying the governor has
will not be.
In other words, you're saying the governor has the flexibility to decide whether it should be the single largest party or the second largest formation.
Absolutely, and if he is convinced that nobody is able to form a party and there is inevitably going to be horse trading, he can also hold back the decision-making process. The Constitution gives the necessary latitude to the governor.
So, Pawan Khera, the question then is that, why is the Congress calling this a murder of democracy and insisting that the Congress should have been invited first? Because apart from what Mr. Salve is saying, there are precedents. I mean, when, for instance, in Jammu and Kashmir in 2002, the National Conference was the single largest party, but it was the Congress and the PDP that came together to form the government and were invited first by the governor. What is the Congress's logic based on that, Mr. Khera?
Well, 5 of their ministers lost the election. The Chief Minister of Goa lost the election. They do not have the popular mandate, Nidhi. And so we are the single largest. Yesterday, when the Prime Minister of India was talking like a leader, his cabinet colleagues were dealing like dealers. They were behaving like dealers, buying and selling MLAs. Now, of course, the governor belongs to them. I'm sorry, I'm forced to say that. The governor is their appointee. They are misusing the institution of the governor. We've gone to the Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court has kindly agreed to open up and do the hearing tomorrow. I hope we get some relief from the judiciary. Now, when we take time, next time you guys should not complain that Congress does not have democracy within. It is an inner party democracy. We were consulting with our MLAs. That's the way we go about it. It's not a diktat from Delhi that Manohar Parrikar has to go as the Chief Minister of Goa because he was, I'm told Modi ji was getting very uncomfortable with his presence in Delhi. So be it. My issue is the Congress has a different way of doing things. We take everybody in confidence. It may take time. For the sake of democracy, time is not an issue. The governor should have ideally called us. Look at what's happening in Manipur.
Pawan, let me just point out what your own MLAs in Goa are saying.
We may not have the necessary number.
Your own MLAs in Goa, and we just had one of them, Vishwajit Rane, on air, and I'm just quoting exactly what he told Ishadrita, my colleague in Goa. He said the mandate was taken away from us because of the foolishness of our senior leaders. I barged out of the room, all the MLAs were angry. The negotiations fell through because of senior leaders. I've written to Rahul Gandhi saying that he's not being given a clear picture of the Goa Congress, was disgusted with how senior leaders were behaving. Now these are your own legislators, elected legislators in Goa, who are blaming your party leadership for not acting in time.
No, I'm sure they are getting impatient. They know exactly what was happening in the room. We have to take every MLA's position. We have to consult everyone. The people of Goa are also angry for their own reasons. Their reasons are that they rejected a government and then this government is being imposed on them. Our MLAs are angry. Of course, they should be impatient, I'm sure, with us also. Fair enough. But they are angry because we know the mandate is for us. I mean, you can't just tell me, in Uttar Pradesh they have a clear majority, in Uttarakhand they have a clear majority. You still don't know the names of the Chief Minister in Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand, but we all know the names of the Chief Minister in Manipur and Goa, where they don't have the numbers. For God's sake, what's happening?
So, that's a valid point, and I just want to take that to Babul Supriyo. Babul Supriyo, the point is that when the sitting Chief Minister of Goa loses both his seats, it is a mandate which is actually against the BJP. It is not a mandate for the BJP. So, has it been a little more than underhanded of the BJP to form the government there?
Well, I'm very happy, Didi, first thing that we have a straight talking, leaders in our party, like Nitin Gadkari ji. He clearly said that I am quoting him, we had no other option but to have Manohar Parrikar as the Chief Minister, because the other two parties are allies. They have clearly said that we will support you only if Manohar Parrikar is the Chief Minister. And I think, as Harish ji has rightly pointed out, it might be customary, but it is not unconstitutional to have the as you pointed out, the option of calling the single largest party first, provided it has a clear majority on the floor of the House or can establish that, or the second largest or the second largest group who clearly has are in consensus, not only in terms of being with each other, but also on the name of the Chief Minister. I don't see why Pawan Khera ji would make a statement like Manohar Parrikar's presence in Delhi is making PM uncomfortable.
No,
I would request,
Mr. Supriyo,
please read your own leaders' mind. At least read their letters. Why are you trying to read our...
Was the Goa mandate for the BJP or against the BJP?
No, I mean, why are we asking this question? We are discussing this entire thing only because it's a hung. Yes, that is the fundamental question, that it is a hung verdict. When there is a hung verdict, the Chief Minister, yes, these are all facts. We are not deliberating on that. It is a hung parliament, hung assembly, and given that situation, such things have been derived, or we have reached a point where a party with a clear mandate for a particular gentleman to the Chief Minister and an alliance which is has a common minimum program together. They are the ones who are going to go for the floor test. And why aren't, as Gadkari ji clearly said, Congress is most welcome to visit the governor and stake a claim for a floor of the House. Why aren't they doing that? Because they're too busy reading minds of Honorable Prime Minister, then trying to read the letters.
Let me just get Aarti Jairath into this. Aarti, is this a classic case of where the Congress politically found itself outmaneuvered, but also where horse trading has happened? I mean, can we say that openly? Or may have happened?
Nidhi, it's really ironic that the Congress is crying foul, because the Congress has done the same thing so many times in the past, where it is, whenever there's been a hung situation, they've bought or they've dealt or they've struck deals with MLAs to form governments. So, I mean, and there's nothing in the Constitution that makes it mandatory for the governor to call the single largest party. It may be a convention, but it's not mandatory. The fact is that the BJP was much more fleet-footed. You tell me, you think this decision to send Manohar Parrikar back as Chief Minister was taken that night itself?
Obviously not.
No. I mean, this plan has been in the works for several weeks. If you remember, even before the campaign started, Nitin Gadkari dropped very clear hints that the next Chief Minister of Goa, if the BJP is in a position to form the government, will be somebody from Delhi. I mean, he was clearly talking about, I mean, I think he was making a very clear indication that Manohar Parrikar was going to be there. And you think the BJP wasn't in touch with these parties? MGP is a breakaway ally of the BJP anyway, you know. I mean, the relationship between MGP and BJP is a lot like the relationship between BJP and Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. They you know, sort of fall apart and they come together because, you know, ideologically they're on the same side. So, you know, the fact is that the Congress should have been prepared for this. This was a state which was waiting for the Congress to win. I mean, it was for the Congress to lose the state. The BJP was in shambles before the elections. The Congress,
and so they should have been better prepared.
They couldn't even get their act together. They should have announced a chief ministerial candidate at least.
Which is exactly what Nitin Gadkari ironically was pointing out that they were still struggling with. The question though, Mr. Salve, is that obviously legally we've established that legally the governor has no obligation to call the single largest party. But then how important does convention become in situations like this, Mr. Salve?
Let me tell you, convention is not the critical test here. The critical test is a fair assessment of what will impart stability. Now look at it from the governor's point of view. I mean, it's all right to cast aspersions on governors appointed by one or the other political party. I'm not getting into the political mudslinging. But look at it from a fair and reasonable person's point of view. You have the second largest party, and they come with a bunch of MLAs who are in the MGP or whatever is are the formation in which they have come. Now they already are a majority in the House. You still call the other party and say you become the chief minister, you form the government, and although these people are saying we will vote against you, let's see what happens in the House. I think you're inviting trouble.
All right.
So it would be a perfectly fair assessment of the governor to say that if they are already there, well, I suppose that's how it will hold.
So, and Nidhi, can I make one more point? You know, on this Congress's charge that the BJP lost the election in Goa, so the mandate is for the Congress. Well, you could say the same thing in Manipur. After all, the Congress has not got a majority in Manipur. So technically, the Congress has also lost the election in Manipur. So on what grounds?
I'm sorry, Aarti.
Yeah.
Even in Manipur, we are the single largest.
You may
be.
You may be, but you still lost the election.
Even in Manipur, we are the single largest. No, I'm very
surprised,
Nidhi.
In 1991, when Rajiv Gandhi lost the election,
when we are out of power, we again get criticized for not doing something right then. And then we are getting criticized for not indulging into horse trading. I'm surprised. Now you are complimenting the BJP for moving fast on horse trading. Hats off to you guys.
Go back to 1991.
No, I'm glad you are.
When Rajiv Gandhi emerged as a listen, let me speak.
The winner. So if somebody, I'm sorry, the past is past. If we went wrong in the past, we got punished for that. We got punished for what we did wrong. Do you think the BJP should commit the same mistakes? After yesterday, the Prime Minister says, New India, new politics. Is this the new politics?
Can I speak?
Okay, Aarti,
you just cast your mind back to history. In 1991, Rajiv Gandhi, the Congress was the single largest party. Rajiv Gandhi said, no, I have lost the mandate because from 400 plus seats, the Congress came down to 190 plus seats. He said, I've lost the mandate, I will not form a government.
So you're saying that applies to Manipur?
Doesn't it? I mean, that's a precedent set by their own leader.
Give this lesson to Parrikar. Please tell Mr. Gadkari this. They should learn from what we've done, not necessarily repeat our mistakes. What we did right should also be emulated.
But you
if
know,
Rajiv
you're making
Gandhi
a
did that in 1989,
a serious accusation about
why are you using that
horse
example
trading?
for Manipur and not for Goa?
So,
why aren't you using that example for Goa? I am sorry, you are using this example of Rajiv Gandhi for Manipur, but not using it for BJP in Goa. I mean, I'm impressed at the double standards. Is this the new media?
No, Babul Supriyo, let me ask you this question though.
That is...
No, one second. The point is, did these parties decide to ally in these all-night meetings with the BJP out of the love of love for the BJP, from the love of their hearts? I mean, there was no quid pro quo, nothing. It was just pure love.
For Mr.
Modi,
love to,
for Mr. Parrikar, for Mr. Biren Singh now.
I would love to believe. Nidhi, I would love to believe so. Why would I go with what Mr. Khera is speculating? A man should not speculate under true circumstances when he cannot, when he can afford to, and when he cannot afford to. I think they can afford to speculate right now and throw these accusations as the opposition. They're doing so. I'm very happy RTG came up with that example of 1990. I would say we would have not gone into the discussion had Congress set their own house right, and if we had a leader of the Congress legislative party with the governor staking claim to form the government with a floor test. That did not happen with Gadkari ji. Again, I would refer to him, a very clear a man with a clarity
did you
of
hear
thought
what
before
RTG
the
said?
election
RTG
had
was
said,
saying that
let me finish,
Rajiv Gandhi
Khera ji.
refused to
Mr.
form the
Khera,
government.
let me finish. I have only one more
He's
second.
lost the mandate.
You're wasting time. Let me finish.
Listen to her example.
Let me
I'm
finish.
sorry, but her example was not her example
Let me
was in
finish.
favor of
You
the
cannot-
Congress. I think you didn't understand. Please ask
That is
RTG
exactly-
what did she say.
that is
She
exactly
said
what I'm
Rajiv Gandhi
saying.
refused to form
That
the
is-
government because he said he lost the mandate.
Okay.
Now,
If-
that's what I'm sorry you're not saying that.
Mr. Khera, they are
that
two
was not a
different
mistake.
things.
In fact, that was setting a
Let
good
me-
standard,
let me
which you're not
finish.
following in Manipur. You're not following in
guys,
Goa.
I
Let me
just
finish.
have 10 seconds. I just have 10 seconds because the Supreme Court is going to hear this on an emergency basis tomorrow morning. Mr. Salve, you're smiling. I'm going to call you again and request you to come back tomorrow because let's see what happens. When the Supreme Court hears this. But for now, it continues to be a very contentious issue. There is on one hand the legality of all
Well,
of this.
they've heard
There
similar
is-
cases before.
Yeah, and Aarti makes the point that this is not the first
They've
time
heard
this has
similar
happened in
cases
Indian
before.
would
politics.
love to
By
have
and
Mr.
large,
Khera
the
tomorrow
court
as well.
Directed floor test.
All right. Well, let's see what happens in the Supreme Court tomorrow morning.
Love
Thank
to have
you
Mr. Khera tomorrow
to
as well.
all of you, Babulji, Pawanji, and Aarti all of you for joining us, and of course, Mr. Salve. See you all
Definitely.
tomorrow. Goodbye.
I would love to.
See you all tomorrow.